And how?
Dance. I guarantee that at least one of you will survive. I will not tell you who that person is, but I know at least one of you will.
I call Danny for my next character.
Who?
Danny.
Danny.
Or Tram. I'll play Tram.
Koivunen?
What? No. What?
You're gonna be a
sure.
bard?
Whoa.
The Magisters.
The Magister's adopted
The boy.
I see what you did there.
Boy.
Boy.
Anyway, what happened last time in session 50?
So
Yeah.
we inspect the ship.
Mhm.
It was very loud when we unstuck it.
Did unstuckify it.
After looking at how much damage the ship has taken in order to get it sailing again, because we tried to back it out, but it's just kind of lurching in the sand, and it's like a sad fish. Felix thinks it's going to take about 3 to 5 hours to fix it. If he has the materials, we could break down some rope into strands to fix the sails, maybe use some of the existing stuff to weld the chains back together, but there's still lots of other stuff to do.
And Council put a ball of alchemy into his eye socket.
Yes, he's been wanting to do that since he lost his eye. So he's got a big old golf ball sized piece of alchemy in his skull. Neat. We discuss our plan for Touchstone. It kind of bounces around a bit. I usually write our roleplay out, but I didn't this time, so that's kind of all I had for that entry. We talk about potentially trying to get some assistance from the Dawn that are oppressed by the Breakers. So Felix thinks of Tram. He's standing at the same post he was before, and next to him is a power-armored Breaker. So we know that there's 2 people at the entrance. Council asks Felix to use the mirror to think of the next king, the first baby born after the previous king was killed. And it turns out that there's a young baby that exists, so that could potentially mean that the standard process for the Dawn is still intact.
Well, the next baby born after the end of the previous king's reign, which could be through death or could be through the term limit of 100 years, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. We decide to bury the alchemite of the ship. It's like this giant 1-yard cube of alchemite, just because if we're going to leave the ship, we don't want anyone to skedaddle with it, so we bury it in the sand. We go into the cave and into an offshoot cavern to a camp. Bakwan casts Commune to see what's going on with Naruya, and he immediately feels and hears some kind of interference and a continuous scream of a woman in agony. Good sign.
But before that, Barquan asked Council about the gods, and Council got an A+ on his description of the gods.
He pulls out his conspiracy board. He's like, okay, look, so we have this yeah, I actually didn't write that down. Interesting. Good catch. We did watches. Ishmael didn't have anything interesting happen in his watch. Council kind of feels around his eye alchemite. There's nothing new with it. He decides to start chronicling the group's journey from his leaving of Erinthia in the blank section of the journal, so he can make sure that story lives for various reasons, somewhat motivated by Tizol's desire to be remembered. Barquan does watch, and he has nada. The group wakes up, thankfully. We plan our approach to Touchstone. We have too many questions, so we decide that Wanda going in to scout as a bat and get a feel for things is probably the best idea.
The best idea. Ha!
I mean, it was until it wasn't. Council ties a little note to Council ties a little note to Wanda just in case someone captures him or falls off or something, and it has the word resist on it. Wanda flies towards Touchstone as a bat. So that, he tries to vibe check Tram and the Breaker, but he doesn't get anything. Observes the city while flying around toward the throne room. There's rubble and debris from some fighting, which is very evident. One of the bridges is gone. Touchstone, the art is fantastic. I wrote, thanks, Spencer, for that. The east side of the bottom is where most of the battle debris is. What was once the main and busy thoroughfare that we experienced when we passed through is now barren and empty. Turns out there's some sort of curfew that the breakers are have in place. There's one body in all of Touchstone, and it's Kaz, lying between the stairwell and the entrance to the throne room. Looking into the homes in one of the pillars, Wander basically gets the feeling that these people are oppressed and just very highly controlled in a not long-term situation. So he goes to the throne room. It's wide open. He flies in and immediately turns back into Wander because of the anti-magic field. He's
That we
swarmed by
knew
breakers.
I love how we all collectively forgot that existed. And we're just like, oh crap! Oh crap!
Barquan hasn't been there.
Well,
Yeah,
because Ishmael.
I knew there was true seeing, and there was something else, but I'm like, well, we'll figure it out when we go to the throne room. So that's for later. Like it wasn't for later. It was for right then.
Was for right then.
Wander squeak. They ask Wander's name. He says he's a traveling salesman. He gets kicked in the face. He says his name is Wander. Wander can see Aetherwolf on the throne, and the Magister is next to him. Aetherwolf obviously knows who Wander is based on questioning the Magister and the look exchanged. Wander is forced to audience with Aetherwolf. He's just spinning a gun around in his hand. Aetherwolf has heavy scarring, a bandana covering half of his face. He's long, greasy hair. He's gross. Looks like a redditor. Asks his name. He cannot lie. Wander has under the effects of the aura of truth. He asks, "Where's Felix?" And Wander says he's coming for you, which is a fantastic response. Well done. Aetherwolf smiles. He's got gross teeth, some replaced by gemstones. And he says, "Let him go." So he points the gun at Wander, and then says, "Bring him to me." Wander asks a question, and Aetherwolf says he won't repeat himself. Wander leaves. Everyone is watching him. He turns into a bat and flies out. That's it.
Anything else to add?
If we survive this encounter, we need to go hunt one of those giant beasts that I can't think of what the heck they're called.
Behemoth?
Behemoth?
Behemoth.
Behemoth.
Yes.
The Behemoth.
Just because of the confidence boost, if we survive this attack, that will give to our party. Let's
I
go
thought-
hunt a behemoth.
That's like spending money when you have surprise savings. That's a really bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you meant that you already have your
Put you
next
to the
character roll. Your next character rolled, and if this doesn't kill us, you want to find something that will.
What do you mean? Everyone knows when you gamble and you win a lot of money, you're supposed to gamble more. That's
Oh,
that's just logic.
Yeah.
Got it.
If you're on a hot streak, you just keep going.
And if you're still losing, well, you're going to make your money back eventually. So keep
Yeah.
gambling.
Yeah.
That's how statistics works. Eventually, it's going to balance out.
Yeah.
Cool. Tonight, session 51 is titled Timing.
Timing. Interesting.
Wander, the last thing you hear as you are flying away from the throne room is the sound of a gunshot that you've become familiar with now. And you just hear that brief, like, as a bullet flies past you. And you then fly through the cavern back to where your companions are waiting.
Leave
Companions,
a little guano behind.
what have you been doing for the last 2 hours or so, 3 hours?
Writing.
Okay, so Council's writing just his history again, or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Barquan would be
Oh.
asking about Touchstone. We don't need to RP it, but
Yeah. Ishmael's super curious as well, so knowing you guys have been there, wants to know,
Yeah.
get as many details as he can.
Easily fill them in.
In the middle of your conversation about Touchstone and learning more about it, Barkwan, your vision kind of shimmers a little bit. And you hear a voice in your mind. And the voice says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, dear. I'm sorry that you had to witness that. Can I help you?"
Naruya, is this you?
"Yes."
Where are you?
"I am where I've always been."
Hmm. Will we die if we go into Touchstone and fight?
"Oh, the future is never certain, dear." And with that, you feel a connection fade. And you rejoin the conversation. It's like you could still hear them talking, Felix and everyone else in front of you, but like you had this, like you had your headphone on, you were able to hear this kind of side conversation that you had, and then you tune back in.
He like snaps out of it. He goes,
Are you well?
Naruya just spoke to me.
Interesting. What did she say?
She said, she is Naruya. I asked who she was. She confirmed she was herself. I asked where she is. She said she's where she's always been. And I asked if we would die if we went into Touchstone to fight. She said the future is always uncertain.
Have you communicated with her before?
I would assume so, right, Spence? Or was that the first time?
Make me a religion check.
That's not going to do it. That's a 3+.
Have you ever been
8?
8?
Yeah.
You are certain that you have had feelings that have come from Naruya in the past. You've certainly felt like she has led your life in certain ways. But as far as direct conversation goes and hearing her words, probably not.
This is the first I have heard her voice speak to me.
Will the gods favor you today, my friend?
Why was she screaming in agony hours ago? And now she's speaking as if all is well.
Exactly my question. I fear it might not be her. And another entity potentially playing games in my head.
That is not unlikely. Council glances at Felix and Ishmael.
Can I do like a retroactive insight to some degree? Like
Sure.
thinking through like exactly what council said, like that's where my head was at as well. Like hours ago the connection was refused and she was screaming, and now she's where she's always been. That just feels fishy.
Sure. Yeah. So you're just trying to suss out
if it's legitimate or not, I guess.
Okay,
You
like
tell-
if
you tell
that
me
was
what to roll.
actually Naruya speaking to you, or
Yeah.
if okay,
Yes.
sure, yeah, go ahead and roll that insight check.
Oh, my insight's very high, huh? I didn't know. Cool. 21?
21.
Yeah.
It does feel odd from what has been discussed amongst your party about Naruya and what you know, to have her suddenly pop back into the conversation.
Yes. Council, I do fear it is strange. She communicate with me and act as if nothing is wrong.
It seems strangely deceptive for one of the deities who is portrayed in such an empathetic way.
Yes.
It may have been noon. It is not unlike that entity to misguide people.
Has he spoken to you? To any of you?
All of us.
In this noon, kind of like gestures to Wander, like the red emanating from the bark. Oh wait, no, Wander's not there.
Yeah,
Wander's not
it's
there. Yeah.
Ishmael
That's
and
right.
Felix.
Do they have any like visible traits?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they have several visible traits.
Okay. Then he would basically glance at them and say, I assume this is what you mean. He's left his mark.
This appears to be so, yes.
I will think more about this. I don't know why now she would speak to me.
It seems unlikely.
Yes.
I can't help but feel suspicious of the circumstances. Something feels amiss.
I'll wait till
We
checks.
we can hope for the best.
All we know
Plan
is
for the worst.
we are eventually going to try and make our way to where the gods are imprisoned. So whether it was her or not doesn't change our plans.
No, of course. Of course.
Felix, can you use your mirror to check on Wander, please?
Felix tunes into Wander.
Probably about that time you would see Wander in like the courtyard. He hasn't quite gotten to the throne room yet.
Can I just have this on?
Sure, yeah, you can just kind of monitor him.
Prop it up against some rocks. We have like a little Wander TV.
Yeah,
CCTV.
yeah. So yeah, you have it on to the side.
Net sticks.
Ah.
I shoot Buckwalk. Boo!
I'm assuming you're just having your conversation, then I'm going back to talking about Touchstone.
Yeah.
Keeping your eye on that side monitor, you do see the events that unfold in the throne room. You don't hear them. There's no sound to the picture, but you hear, you see everything that happens.
When immediately, instantaneously upon seeing Wander transform, Ishmael can't help himself but bellow out a bit. Just a oh!
Council
in
just
spite
goes-
of needing to be quiet.
Council just goes, ah.
The throne room has some enchantments on it, and it seems Wander forgot. And we forgot to remind him.
Perhaps we should leave now and attempt to save our friend. His life certainly must be in danger.
Is he talking with Aetherwolf right now?
Yeah, at this point, he's probably been stood up and walked forward to in front of the throne, and then pushed back down onto his knees.
With
If they
a gun
imprison
out?
Yeah, you would see Aethelwolf marching forward.
Council just watches.
I think leaving immediately won't do much good at this
We are,
point.
we are still hours away from touchstone.
We need to prepare.
We need the aid of our friend as well. I don't wish to see Wander die. We've come so far.
Well, we can't reach him anytime soon.
At that point, you see Wander turned away and walking back out of the throne room,
Hmm.
and then turns into a bat and flies away. You see him reliefedly flying back towards you.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh
They
my god.
allowed him to leave?
Felix, am I correct in assuming that Aethelwolf is not an honorable creature?
He's very emotional. And he seems to be obsessed with me.
That's because he perceives you betrayed him.
No, I sure did.
Well, honesty is a good quality.
If when you meet him, you'll understand. I think I might be able to get to him though.
Nah, my concern is the magic stripping enchantment of the throne room.
Have you tried to dispel the magic around the throne?
We
It
would have to be
is-
able to use magic to do that.
Spencer,
Well,
do I remember the nature of the throne room's enchantment?
Yeah, from what Kaz told you, Kaz is the one who put the alchemite in place. Essentially, it is alchemite that is imbued with the power of truth, and so no guise is able to pass through it.
So specifically
It's-
concealment stuff. Okay,
It's only magic still works.
understood.
Oh, okay. Good. Felix, is it safe to say that you will face him?
I think that's what we got to do at this point.
You'll
As
not
long-
need to face him alone. You'll have the support of us.
We may have to.
This might be a thing of honor. Not so much for him, but if I challenge him to a duel, he is arrogant enough to accept, I think.
Especially since there are more breakers and Dwarn under his control. If we confront him as a group, we will just get overwhelmed. I think Felix is right. However, if he is as emotional and unstable as you say, when he starts to lose, it probably won't be just you and him for long.
Yes.
You need to plan around that.
Hmm.
At
If
that
you
point,
guys-
Ishmael, we may have to jump in.
The only thing he
Well-
could do to tip the scale is bring in more breakers. So if you can hold them off, I think if
If we even make it, he may have a trap set for you beforehand. All he
I-
wants is you and vengeance. So
As
at this
long-
point,
As long as that barrier does not clear magic, all magic, I can protect you from dying at least once before going in.
that may happen more than once, Spark One.
Sure.
You see Wander flying past Tram and the other Dwarn.
I think
Mm.
absolutely no help from others would be best in this situation. The
You
breakers
certainly-
need to see who's better.
Agreed. Is there a way you... Oh, go ahead, Ishmael.
No, it's fine. The moment has passed.
If... Felix, do you know his buttons? Speaking proverbially, if you could goad him, get him into a position where you want him, call him out, belittle his leadership, say that your betrayal was inevitable because of various weaknesses, make everyone present second guess why he's on the throne and not someone else. If you can do that, you may have an advantage.
I'll be able to do that.
While proving your worth is important, it doesn't mean you can't plan ahead to be extra cautious.
Marquand,
Who
do you
says
have-
I haven't been planning ahead this whole time?
No, I'm sure you have, but there are things I could help with. Just know.
Marquand,
I
do you
agree
have
with
any-
Bakwan. We will need your help if we are to save the entire world.
Bakwan, do you have any long-lasting enchantments that may
Yes.
boost Felix's combat potential?
Combat potential, yes. Also, his resiliency. I can cast a spell that will make sure that if you were to drop, so to speak, you would come back at least once.
Well, you're going to have to use it before we enter the city, and it is a several-hour walk to the throne room.
Correct.
Any sort of enhancements and strengthening spells you should use on each other.
Felix, I understand you are confident, but
This
you will be the
feels
target for a majority of this conflict.
And even if you win the duel, how are we certain that the breakers won't be upon you then the next instant?
Exactly.
I think we're in this together.
Agreed.
And if you
Agreed.
all put your spells on one person, it might be better spent elsewhere. Yourselves.
It's true. I am naked.
Sure.
okay.
I shuffle in my bathrobe.
The only problem. Sorry, go ahead.
You go. Oh, wait.
The only problem with
Good.
not protecting Felix is if he were to lose, then what? We will be overwhelmed by the rest of the army if we try to fight.
This is the risk of Touchstone. If Felix loses, then we have to either we'll fight until we die. There's a very high likelihood of getting overwhelmed. Unless we can somehow rally the local Dawn populace on our way there or during the conflict. I'm hoping that Felix's ability to goad Aetherwolf will rally some of the guards present. We know they're oppressed. Oh, no, we don't, because Wander isn't back. I'm hoping that, as undesirable as their situation in takeover was, that they will be looking to take advantage of the opportunity.
Do we have a way to get a message out?
Wander is really the only way. Unless your companion that was in Tizzle's head is another means.
Tizo?
Our previous companion that fell in the conflict in Orin.
Who was in his head?
Felix had some sort of small
A homunculus.
Yeah, that.
Still need to put that back together.
Homunculus. Oh, he watches interestedly. He doesn't know what that is.
4-syllable words are superior.
Indubitably.
That's 5.
The scourge of all words, 5-syllable words.
Yeah. 4 is the sweet spot.
I think I might also be able to negotiate terms of this duel.
Well, whether, even if he agrees to them, whether he sticks to it or not is another question.
Indeed, he doesn't seem like one to be trusted.
He can't break the terms if he's dead.
I suppose.
And if he forfeits his leadership to me by losing the duel, thus dying, maybe the rest of the Breakers will honor that. They do respect strength.
Well, you are in the superior suit, as far as we can tell.
That we know of.
We haven't seen what Aethelwolf has.
His final form is yet to be revealed.
Again, this is why I implore you. It's just one spell. I can just make sure that you are protected in an additional way. So when we get close, I will cast it.
Don't bother. If it goes
Stubborn.
off, the
Stubborn
duel...
dwarf.
As much as I hate Aethelwolf, we do have some things in common.
Honor is
Right.
important, Felix.
Think
With that,
this-
I agree. But remember that you are amongst bonded friends, and we only mean the best for you.
Keep this in perspective. Aethelwolf has the supply and backing of all of the Breakers and the entire Dwarven city right now. You have a Hewn, a Non, a Torn, and an Elm.
Who is most likely to fall in battle?
If he pulls out a weapon the size
Tizol.
of...
Yes, he's up.
Exit on Tizol. He's the squishiest.
He's dead. Oh.
Sad.
It might be more useful on the one without any armor.
I suppose.
We'll need everyone to be strong.
It's true. I would very much like my armor back.
Tell you what, I'll work on that when we're done with this.
But priorities.
Maybe, perhaps after we've saved the world.
If the Breakers answer to me at the end of this, I can make them make you a suit.
We'll help them build us a new ship.
All we need is to fix the straps on the current one, and we have a long journey south. It's going to take days. Hopefully
No,
during
I'm-
that time.
Throwing that out, we're gonna have them build a new one. It's gonna be sweet, bigger and better, and lots of RGB and
RGB airship with like
It's got
40
fans in the pauldrons.
I have an alchemite Gatling gun on all sides. I watched. Council looks at the mirror to see where Wanda is.
You just see Wander flying back through the dark tunnels. Barely
sends him-
visible at all.
He sends him vibes to make him fly faster.
If you guys are done talking, we can have Wander come back.
no, we're still going.
All right, cool.
Apparently does no good to some dwarf.
Well,
Wonder
another
approaches.
45 minutes. We could say he's flying a little bit faster than he was on the way out. Wander comes back. You just suddenly, and in the silence of whatever you are doing, you hear that the frantic bat wings.
I poof back into tree form. Well, that was interesting. I don't know if any of you remember that magic doesn't work in the throne room.
We did.
Deception-rooted magic. Forgot to remind. We saw. We didn't hear, though.
Oh, the mirror.
We pointed to the
Ah, indeed.
Point to
So
the mirrors and Wander's face is on it.
yeah.
Arquan and myself would have reminded you had we known, but they never filled us in on the details of the throne room.
Wander is looking at how his face is mirrored in the mirror, different than it usually is for a little while.
And you like
I wondered what you were doing.
next to your face and we can look in the mirror and see like the infinite mirror.
Yeah.
Does the world just break?
Console disconnects the Zoom call from the
You need to see my screen.
I hate it when people do that. Just assume it works. Someone will tell you if it doesn't. It's so stupid. Anyway,
So
I'm glad
You
you're
saw-
alive. Wander.
you saw my foible. I converted into my normal form as soon as I flew into the throne room. I was very much expecting to die, and once again, I did not. So apparently,
It
I am
looked like it for a
immune.
moment.
Yeah, it was going to happen. So I'm just going to move forward, assuming I am now immune to death. And
That's a bad idea. I wouldn't do that.
okay, there's probably some wisdom there. Uh,
Ishmael claps your shoulder at you, saying how you survived death, and I'm very glad to have you back.
how many points of bludgeoning damage do I take?
At least 18.
At least 18. What did Aethelwolf say? We couldn't hear during the exchange.
He was a man of few words. Not the most sophisticated of individuals. Rugged.
A man of few baths as well, it seems.
Indeed. He asked where Felix was, and I was unable to lie, so I simply said, "He's coming for you." At
You
which
didn't
point,
What?
Aetherwolf sent me on my way. It was a surprising and very brief encounter, all things considered.
What do you mean you were unable to lie?
I was unable to lie. There must have been some form of Dorn magic cast there.
Ah,
Part of the enchantment of the throne room that prevents deception.
this is quite the power they have.
It's alchemite. Kaz set it up.
Hmm.
Kaz was very talented.
And I don't know if you saw that Kaz's body is indeed outside the throne room.
We did.
That was and just lying there. Nothing had been done with it. I assume some form of disrespect was intended by that.
What is the state of the Dorn populace?
They are all hiding inside. I briefly got close enough to hear some of their conversation. The loudest words I was able to hear were from a child who was very quickly shushed by their parents. They are afraid. They are acting as if they are in imminent danger at the moment. So, Council, your suspicions that the people are not on the same side as the Breakers at this moment in time certainly seem true. They seem to be terrified of the Breakers at the moment.
If we can turn that fear into anger, it may benefit us. Felix, do you think... Aethelwolf obviously has a large ego. Do you think he would like an audience?
I could suggest it. His breakers might be the only audience he.
Well, if he wants to prove a point now, how mighty of a Dorn and intelligent he is, perhaps to the entirety of Touchstone. It's one thing to prove it to his guard, it's another thing to prove it to an entire population.
They could try, but the breakers know who I am. I usually tried to stay in obscurity among the populace.
Well, if the populace witnesses an opportunity for their situation to end, especially if Aethelwolf starts to lose or cheat, then
That's a good point.
we may have an opportunity. And if the breakers start to harm citizens, it may rally the guards like Tram, who have been loyal this whole time.
If they turn on us, then it might be the help we need. You're right.
Agreed. I hate to use citizens in conflict, but I do not see any other options. I believe there's not much we can plan in fine detail. We're going to be going to Touchstone, and Felix is going to challenge Aetherwolf. What happens after that is we'll have to figure it out.
I would say that we should be wary of traps once we get there. It doesn't seem like he will fight fair. If we need to lure him out of the throne room to do the fight, I think that's a condition you should consider.
How
Audience
intelligent,
might help with that.
how
need-
intelligent would you say he is? Being honest.
What do I think, Spencer?
Make me an insight check.
Because ego and pride are one thing, but when they're guided by intelligence, it's a much more fearsome prospect.
Got a 9.
9?
He's a spoon.
I mean, he's not dumb.
I had a very brief interaction with him. The intelligence didn't flow through, but I couldn't necessarily determine if there was a lack of intelligence either.
The more we can play to his emotions, the less that intelligence will come through. So,
He was
Felix will be up.
He was extremely emotional with me. At one point, I simply sought to clarify what he was demanding that I do, and he shot at the ceiling with one of those things.
Well, Felix, it'll be up to you to keep his heart rate going.
So will we all enter Touchstone, or just Felix? And
I believe all of us would be wise. If something goes wrong, we would need to work together to make sure something, can be done.
and if they attempt to apprehend us, do we go quietly or do we fight?
I assume they're going to try and establish control, bring us to the throne room. Might be some peacocking, so to speak. And then, Felix, it will be up to you to see what happens. If at any point they try to bring us harm, then obviously we should defend ourselves, but...
I think he'll let us get there. I'm not sure if he'll try to take our weapons away or something.
I have been imprisoned once in my life. I don't intend to make that twice.
We'll just play along until it doesn't benefit us.
Sounds good.
If you
Would
have
the-
any... Oh, go ahead.
Would the element of surprise be possible, as they do not know who I am?
There's no way
Nor
for you
I.
to enter the city without them knowing, unfortunately. Unless you spent several hours going through one of the side caverns in the northeast, entering at the bottom of Touchstone, and then 2 more hours or 3 ascending the pillars, somehow not being seen by breakers or guards, with helmets that dispel deception, and make your way to the throne room. That also prevents deception and magic of the like.
That's all?
And doing all that, having never been in the city,
It could be
going
done,
your way around.
but
Doesn't seem practical. We should go.
I had a split thought of like luring the behemoth inside and letting it loose in the throne room, but then... All right, Felix, invent a Pokeball.
Just real quick. You can
Just
do that,
real
right?
quick.
Pocket dimension to shove it in and then...
Yeah, take a bag of holding, put like enlarge reduce on it, make it hit, If we have any final preparations, I have no magic. My equipment is as good as it can be. I'm ready to go when you are.
So to reiterate, the plan is to go back to Touchstone and goad Aetherwolf into having a one-on-one duel with Felix. Is this accurate?
That is the plan. And assuming he will not play fair.
Right. If we think it would be beneficial for me to be able to convert into an animal again, I just did that rapidly. If we wanted to simply take an hour to gather ourselves before we left, I would have that available to me again, but it may not be necessary. I don't know. And I don't know if time is of the essence at the moment either.
If we fight in the throne room, it will be no use. If we manage to goad him to fighting outside where everyone can see, then it would be very useful. I think waiting an hour will not degrade our chances.
I think it's a worthy thing to wait for.
Okay. You guys wait out an hour in the dark of the tunnels. Then you head out.
Yeah, gotta start walking.
Okay. You continue the march down that last hour or so of the tunnels. And you reach that familiar kind of last bend right before you remember seeing Touchstone for the first time. And you see Tram and the other Dorn backlit by any of the small amount of light coming from Touchstone. And they just look at you and just watch you approach.
So waves.
You wave.
Yeah.
Felix just walks by.
As you are like walking past, Tram goes to speak and just says, "We have to. Let's go." And they
Hello.
both turn and kind of follow you guys now.
Hello, Tram. It's nice to see you again.
I didn't expect to see any of y'all again.
Oh, we are sorry to return under such circumstances. Especially against the original law of his banishment.
Figured I was banished under the previous ruler. Maybe I'll have better circumstances under the next.
The breaker in the suit lets out a chuckle at that sentence. And Tram just kind of looks over, lets out a heavy sigh, says, "I wouldn't be too sure about that."
We'll have to find out.
Ishmael leans over towards Wander and kind of quietly says, is he a friend? Kind of nodding towards Tram.
He was an acquaintance that never proved himself to be an enemy.
Ishmael just nods.
As you are making your way down the kind of like snaking path that's in the side of the cavern down to the floor, Tram turns and he addresses, probably first he would address Barquan, and he would say, "They told us that there's some of you out there. How did you find yourself with these folks?"
Let's say it was my calling.
And then he turns to Ishmael. "And you?"
It's a long tale for a trusted companion over several pints of ale.
Trying to make conversation.
While we're walking, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ishmael.
I was just going to say, I mean no disrespect. It is not a short tale.
It's not a short walk.
Go ahead, Council.
While we're walking, Council is going to. When anyone in the group speaks, so two things. When anyone in the group speaks, he's gonna kind of like gesture for them to like raise their voices a bit, because from Wanda's description, people are in their homes and no one is talking and it's very quiet. Council wants as many people as possible to know that this group is walking through Touchstone toward the throne room. Right, the more heads turning, the better. And in any time Tram speaks or talks to Council, Council's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely.
I was sent by the god Naruya herself.
Like, no. And secondly, he's going to just very casually, like, just kind of pull out the journal and like take some notes. And in view of the breaker, so you can just look like it's it's paper. Obviously, he's not trying to play a weapon, but. He's also going to, where he also tore off that little piece of paper and wrote resist on it, he's going to do that again, but try and very carefully hand it to Tram.
Okay. When you pull
Are you
out...
would any of us like see or know that you would be planning on doing that? Because
Nope.
Barkhorn would probably run interference if he knew.
You probably see Council. Oh, let's see what Spencer says.
Sure.
As soon as you pull out the journal for the first time and you start to like write in it, the breaker is going to reach for it. You can make me a dexterity saving throw if you'd like to hold on to it.
Dexterity saving throw. I'm good at that.
Snap.
Actually, make me a dexterity check.
Oh, check. Okay. Well, 17.
He reaches for it and you kind of pull it away from him. And he just says, "What are you writing there?" At which point Tram just kind of turns to him and says, "It's just a book. Just let him have it."
Council waits to see if the breaker accepts Tram's response.
The breaker is just like staring daggers at you the rest of the walk. So he's watching like everything you're doing.
Okay. Council turns to a page where there's Elm on it
Okay.
and just kind of shows it to the breaker, so it looks like gibberish. It's like, it is a journal.
He leans in a little bit closer.
Turns into a monster.
Aether Wolf probably wouldn't be happy if anything happened to any of his honored guests. Let him be.
Honored guests?
We were personally invited by Aetherwolf himself.
You were retrieved. You were not invited.
Semantics.
So much for the good humor before.
Very, very limited hospitality down here.
Tram is just kind of like, he's walking more alongside you, whereas the other breaker is like walking behind you guys because you just kind of barged past. Tram is kind of caught up with you, and he's kind of looking over his shoulder at the other guard and just gives like a shake of his head.
Back in my day, we were nice to our guests. So does it look like the breaker is just hawking on Council too much for him to even try and
You can certainly
get a
try.
note? Well,
There's always a chance.
So he's walking behind Council.
Yes.
Oh, poop. Smart people being all annoying, getting in the way of my schemes.
You guys are the ones who barged past him. They were gonna walk in front.
Okay, yeah. If there's ever an opportunity where the breaker is talking to someone else or in front of him, Council's gonna try and take it.
Okay.
But for now, it's just casual conversation.
Yeah,
That's
unless
it.
someone specifically like runs interference on him, the breaker doesn't say anything. The rest of the walk, he just walks in silence behind you.
Who's closest to Council?
Probably a good idea to establish marching order. Who's in front? Felix?
Felix.
Okay. Who's behind him?
Ishmael.
It's like, don't all volunteer at once.
Yep. For a second, I was thinking I was still Revan. I was like, no, I'm way behind. No, Ishmael's right up front, right behind
Mark-
Felix.
Arquan would want to be toward the back, probably, not knowing the area.
Okay.
Wanderer's happy to be in the middle.
Ishmael's walking very tall as well through this. Like, he is tall to begin with, but he is chest out, straight backed. Just, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, probably alongside you, Wander, is where Tram is.
Okay.
Council will be somewhere near the back.
Okay. Kind of between you and Barquan, who wants to be like in the very back.
Wanda, didn't you? You had some. Didn't you have? The council's still not allowed to lie. Wanda, didn't you have some questions for the breakers as we were walking up? He kind of just like.
Yes, I did have some questions for the breakers.
Imagine the deadpan mask, because that face wasn't present. It just turns to you.
It's just a slow pivot.
For example, the name breakers. Was there something that was broken? Where does the name originate?
The grumpy breaker in the back says, "It's because we broke the law, and we continue to do so."
I've been fascinated by Dwarn law since discovering it. It very much intrigues me. My people have no written history, which is something that I am interested in filling. What led you to break the law?
At that point, Tram actually speaks up. And he says, "Well, some believe that the law is too stringent. It's too strict. There's too much of it. It's not how we were meant to be."
So, do you want to get rid of now that Aetherwolf is here, do you plan to get rid of the law?
Tram just kind of shrugs his shoulders off to the side. And the breaker in back says, "Something like that."
I try to do my sneaky.
All right, go ahead.
As soon as words are coming out of the breaker's mouth, because that's when our brains are the most distracted.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
What do you
I
want me to
mean, someone's running a distraction for you. So make me a sleight of hand with advantage. Sure.
Sleight of hand with advantage. Ooh, that's a 16. Roll again. That's a 17. Ooh. Sleight of hand, because it's dex based and I am a shooty boy. I got 17 plus 5. 22.
Yeah, and he rolled crap on his perception, so you pretty sure you got away with it.
Okay, so that's just writing the note, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Or was that giving it to Tram as well?
I mean, see, if you're just like writing in your book while you're walking,
Right.
I don't think that he would have cared about that at all. That could have been the handing it off to Tram portion of it.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
So all he's going to write is, when the time comes, resist.
Okay.
And give it to Tram.
Okay. So when you do that, like, hand off to Tram, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Tram, you can see he takes it, and then he's like looking for opportunities to see what it says as you're walking. About that time, you reach the bottom of this empty space, and you can see off to the right as you're approaching. If you remember, when you reach the bottom, there's the gap between the bottom of the outside where you came down and the base of the pillar. As you're walking through this area in the middle, I assume you all can see my mouse.
Yes.
As you're walking through that, you can see in the darkness just some light kind of like gleaming off of a whole bunch of these like mining machines that are all lined up. And then there's a bunch of like debris that's fallen down around them and everything.
Are the mining machines in the holes or near us?
They're down in that main area with you.
Are they accessible?
No. I mean, what do you mean by accessible? Like,
So what
reach them?
So what Arquan's thinking is he would want to try to assist in making a distraction, knowing what's going on in the. I guess does he see what's going on in the front? Like I guess I don't want to assume. What Council's doing? Oh boy. 14.
Do you roll a 21 on your
22.
sleight of hand, right? 22. So no, you have no idea.
Okay, never mind. He's just walking.
You can see, however, that the mining machines, like there are groups of Dwarven that are around them and like doing things to them, like giving them tune-ups, and chatting, fixing whatever. The nearest group, as you are walking past, they're all kind of like side-eyeing you, like you just crossed the tracks into the wrong side of town, kind of thing.
Arquan waves.
They don't react at all.
Fine.
What is the goal of the Breakers? After this, what is your long-term pursuit? You've got a lot set up here. You've controlled a populace. You've sieged a city of Hune and others. Fort Nan. What end?
For Aetherwolf to know.
To know what?
Don't know what I don't know.
Does he often withhold information from you?
You can see, like, he starts thinking about it. And then as soon as he recognizes that he's thinking about it, he's just like, I know what you're trying to do. Just keep walking. But during that time, Tram has had a second to just kind of like get at what it says. And you see him look at the note just kind of discreetly down in his hand and crumple it up, and he just drops it.
Okay. Council jumps on it and slurps it up. Just kidding. Paper.
Dear Breaker, what inspires a dwarf of your stature to blindly follow such a pompous ass such as Aetherwolf?
Are we passing by any houses? Did Ishmael ask that loudly?
No, you're still in the chasm. You haven't even reached the big doors yet. But any of the chatter that you could hear from the Dorn on the mining rig nearby just stops, and you just hear silence. And the Breaker just says, I would prefer if we'd walk in silence.
Very well.
Oh, all that nice gear they outfit you guys with.
Not quite as good as yours, Felix. But
I see the inspiration.
such is the case for hand-me-downs.
Is that why they lost the battle in Orin and retreated from the Nan?
Oh my god! Ooh!
That mention,
The group dog piles on the breaker.
the breaker
Awesome.
it breaks his silence,
This is a genuine question.
and he says, "We did not retreat. We had all of the information that we needed."
Interesting. The non seem to think otherwise.
The non are stupid.
Well, the information was they knew they couldn't hold the city.
The information was what was under the temple. Now shut up.
Well, I'm glad you all found everything that you were
I said
looking for.
shut up. Walks.
You'll not make many friends in life talking to people this way. Ishmael keeps walking.
What would your mother think? I was kidding.
You guys make your way. You can see now when you get up to those main big double doors. And I'm sorry for cutting you off, Barnabas. That felt very, very rude, and I'm sorry.
No, that was perfect. That was
Um,
perfect.
When you get to the big double doors, you can see there are barricades that were there, and they've been put off to the sides. And the large double doors themselves are actually like off the hinges. And one of them's like just leaned up against the wall next to it, and the other one is just completely laying on the ground on its side. So you can just see right into the long spiraling caverns up. So you make
Okay.
your way in. The entire way as you're going, unless you're trying to do anything else or make comments.
When we are approaching windows that council can see lit, maybe can see people inside or just tell that there's a residential area. Council is going to hope after some time of silence that he can strike up some casual conversation with Tram.
Okay.
Not obviously not picking on the breaker anymore. But he's going to ask Tram about like life when they last visited, like how try and get him to talk about things pre the breakers attacked, like any festivals, like any nice meals you had, how are things with your family. Try and get the minds into the set of pre-oppression, I don't know.
Sure.
planting the seed.
Yeah. Make me a performance check.
Okay. Oh man, I'm on fire tonight. 12 plus plus 2. I'm not very charismatic apparently. 14.
14. You try to strike up a conversation with Tram as you're walking and being where you are in the line or the line that's walking forward. You're close enough to him that you can keep it kind of quiet, like quiet enough that Tram could hear you and maybe other people around could hear you, and maybe not the breaker so much in the back.
Okay.
The breaker in the back, he doesn't make any comment when you strike up the conversation with Tram.
Okay. He's gonna get closer and closer to normal speaking volume, so like echoes down the hallway. Especially since if they're the only ones talking, might be kind of loud, but yeah.
Sure, yeah. As you're trying to converse with Tram, you're not getting a lot of conversation back from him. Every once in a while, he'll like have a 1 or 2 word answer, but for the most part, he is just trying to keep quiet.
Okay.
Which brings me to, as you are walking through, you notice that most of this area in here doesn't look any different than it did when you went through the first time.
Oh, okay.
But every once in a while, probably like every 50 or so doorways, you'll come across one doorway where there will be like Dorn runes like inscribed above the door, like in red. The door will be taken off, and looking inside, you will just find like a bloodbath
Oh, jeez.
that has been left.
I'll be right
And
back.
you, Felix, what?
He said, "Be right back."
Okay. You, Felix, reading, you, since you know the Dorn, it just says condemned. And that's, it's not terribly often, but it's often enough that the majority of the populace here is quiet.
Okay.
But you do, yeah, you see faces and stuff every once in a while. There'll be people looking out. They'll notice you guys making your way through.
Do we all? Are you saying we all notice these occasional bloodbaths?
Yeah, it's not hidden at all.
As we pass one of them, I look at the breaker and say, "Were they talking too much?" And kind of point over in that direction, but keep walking at the same time.
All you see is a visor, very similar to Felix's, so you can't even see his face inside. But it just stares at you, and he says nothing, and he just keeps walking. As you continue to make your way up towards the surface over the next couple of hours, as you get closer to the surface, there are more and more of those condemned homes that you can see. And any of the chatter that you had heard amongst the apartments down below, or the houses down below, the caverns down below, is very silent. And every once in a while, you actually pass other breakers that are marching in the opposite direction of you, or standing guard. Every once in a while, you'll see some that are like standing next to one of the condemned rooms. It seems to be, as you get higher and higher, it's more and more strict. It's more oppressive.
Okay.
And you can feel that. It's palpable. Then when you do finally exit the caverns, you find yourself in that like Times Square-esque thoroughfare. Ishmael?
Nope, sorry, just listening.
Oh, so you just unmuted. Normally you do that when you have something to say.
Yeah. Nothing to say.
Okay. As you make your way, what was previously very bustling, full of people, as Wander saw before, and actually as you would have seen through when you were scrying on him, there's nobody here, and you can see the one thing that is present in this area is the body of Kaz there.
Also, will comment about how busy and lively the area was when they were last here, and how nice it was to see, regardless of the circumstances.
At mention of it, you see Tram kind of like bring his gauntlet up, and like he's trying to wipe something off of his face. But nobody says anything. They just follow in silence.
Are we walking? Does it look like we're going to be walking by Kaz's body?
It is directly between the stairwell that you come up out of and the throne room.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can't help but walk past it unless you specifically try to walk around it.
Does he have any obvious belongings on him that Council looks like he might be able to sneak as we walk by? Like something like a brooch or a ring or a tool on a belt?
Make me a perception check.
11 plus 6, 17.
17. Kaz, as far as you can see, looks identical to the last time you saw him inside the temple at Touchstone. He still has on the same clothes. None of his belongings have been taken away from him. It's as if you would surmise what happened was he got here and died.
Jeez.
There wasn't a whole lot of anything else that happened with Kaz.
Okay.
Or if there was, they let him keep his belongings for some period of time. You're not sure.
Okay.
But he still has all of his stuff on him. That being said, it's not like he has a bunch of like tools on the outside of him.
Okay.
He might have like a small, almost like a fanny pack, like on his side, where like he kept some amount of things to work with, little tools,
Right.
knickknacks, whatever.
Nothing
But
that looks
nothing
you could easily grab in 0.5 seconds in passing.
With the breaker, just like again, this entire time, despite the egging on of everyone else, he has kept a special eyes on you.
Okay.
You feel like it probably wouldn't be super easy to do that unless somebody again like tried to run interference for you.
I kick him in the nuts. Nah, that's
You
fine.
win. That was it. That's all you had to do.
Yeah, same touchdown. I explode the breaker's nuts.
Is anybody saying anything about the body?
No,
Because I don't. I'm trying to remember. Ishmael doesn't know him.
he does. Kaz was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh,
We were in the temple and the workshop. And,
Yep. Okay, so he does.
Yep. He got to know Kaz.
Okay.
the council just kind
Not
of nods.
extensively, but
Council
knew him
just
for a
nods
couple days.
respectfully as they pass.
Ishmael pauses for a moment. Just kind of tipped his head down as we walk by.
Felix, you're leading this train. You just marching on to the throne room?
Yep. When he gets close to the throne room, he's going to do a quick, just glance around to make sure there's not, an obvious trap waiting.
Arquan is also going to do that.
Okay. Make me 2 perception checks then. But each of you give me a perception check if you're
So
just trying to...
Arquan's probably looking around the back, let's say, looking around the sides, maybe not the throne room door itself.
So, for context, you are walking up to a massive door
Mhm.
that is inlaid into a massive pillar made of stone. So to get around the back would take several minutes, or to get around to the sides or anything.
Sure, maybe, yeah, okay. Maybe not around back, but maybe looking around us. Maybe not for traps specifically, but for signs of an ambush, or if something just seems amiss.
Out in the central area instead
Yeah,
of
around, yeah, not the door itself or around back, maybe around us. Are we in danger of anything?
Okay. Sure. What'd you guys roll?
10.
Perception?
Double digits.
Perception, right?
Yep.
15.
15.
Yeah.
Felix, you're probably a little distracted by the tensity of the moment.
The body of his adopted son.
Yeah, your good buddy back there. Barquan, you looking around, nothing immediately sticks out as a trap to you. However, this is the first time that you are seeing the clock that's above the throne room. And that, of course, does stick out to you. It's something you have never seen before. It's something you don't have down below with the non. Ishmael, you would probably notice it too, but that's the only item of note to your suspicions.
Okay.
The giant metal gear clock.
Council keeps walking.
Ishmael too.
As you approach, you can see the doors are open, and inside it's not bright out here, and it's actually even dimmer than the last time you were in Touchstone, because there was a little bit of light. There was some like lit torches and stuff like that for some of the Dwarn. But the main source of light was coming from that like cave that was up that leads out to the High Barrens. That is even at this point there are basically no lights in the town itself. The only bit of light is coming from that doorway. But you can see that there are some lit torches inside the throne room. So as you get closer, you can see the outlines of some things. First, you notice there are immediately within the doors a set of breakers. And then next to every pillar on the inside, there is another set. So that there are at least like 14 or so breakers. Not all of them have the suits on. You see that some are just standing in rather like plain looking clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So is it clear that they're breakers even without the suits?
That's a good question. You probably not actually.
Okay.
Without that to distinguish them, they look like Dwarn. You notice that they do have like weapons on them. Maybe that's what sets them apart.
Okay.
Other than that, though, they're just Dwarn. But yeah, that's what you notice. At least those of you who can see in the dark. Those who can't, it is very low light. So you're not able to see a whole lot. You can see like some light bouncing off of some metallic surfaces within, but that's about it. Just marching forward, Felix?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh boy, here we go.
Do say maybe this is a good time to take a bio break? Or
So-
like a few people doing good?
I want to just do one as we kind of right before we kind of go across the threshold. Ishmael just says aloud to no one, "I wonder how many of them there are that we can't see." Like gives a little bit of a sarcastic tone to it, but also a little serious tone.
Asking your question kind of aloud to no one. Your voice echoes off of the inside of this throne room. And as soon as the five of you are inside, there's not six. I am the other profile picture. As the five of that's right. As the five of you get in, you do hear the doors behind you then close. And you hear a heavy like iron bar being put into place.
Good. They're locked in here with us now.
Yeah, I was gonna say Barquan smirks.
I'm not trapped in here with you.
All right, I think I will take you up on that bio break.
Yeah, I could use the bathroom quick.
I'm gonna go make dinner. I'll be right back.
Cool.
Okay,
We'll come back
so we're
to that.
taking a couple extra
Ow. Felt bad. Liam is asking me if I could help him play some Bowser's Fury. I'm like, sorry, bud. I gotta go play pretend with my friends.
Rosa was asking me to play the other Mario game that was in there.
On that
Super
collection
Mario
for the Switch?
Yeah,
3D Land or whatever.
yeah, Super Mario 3D World or whatever it
The
is.
old one.
Yeah.
It's the N64 one, right? That's on that set,
No,
along with Bowser's Fury. Isn't that those two? Or
It's a
is,
whole
no,
new one.
no. Ah, yes. There's another set that has. I know we've got one that has like the N64 version.
Yeah, there was the one that they released a while ago that was Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh, and Galaxy as well. It was 3 games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So we've got that one too.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Super Mario Galaxy. I had little kids at the time. Well, like 7-year-old, 5-year-old.
Yeah.
So I could play, and then the second player could like point at the screen with the
Yep,
Wiimote
you had to
and like
collect
collect
all the
stars.
little stars.
Yeah.
That
That's
game was
great.
designed for playing with your kids. It was amazing.
I think that's the only
Agreed.
like mainline Mario game that I haven't played. I didn't play either of the Galaxy games.
Wait,
They
there's
were
more
both-
than one?
Yeah, there was Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I never
They
played
were-
2.
They're both on Wii, which is the Nintendo console I didn't have because I was in college at the time. And so obviously I was playing Call of Duty instead of Mario,
Right.
like a true bro.
So you owned a Wii U and not a Wii?
Yeah, because I got the Wii
Gross.
U after we were married.
Sure.
And we
Yep.
had kids. Yeah, I played a lot of Wii U when Lizzie was like just right after she was born. Because
Oh,
I would have her sitting like in the little like boppy thing next to me, and I would be playing Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U pad up on the projector, like
The tablet thing?
Heck yeah!
Mhm.
This is great. This is what parenting is supposed to be.
Such a silly console.
It was great.
It had some cool things to it, but yeah.
Yeah.
It fell short, unfortunately,
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
That was for a Nintendo console? What was that?
I was just gonna say the Switch is just the Wii U made perfect.
Right, exactly. Because it's the Wii U was, I think, probably the first Nintendo console in a while that just fizzled out.
Yeah.
Like, you may be one of the only people I know who owned one.
Jack had one. How dare you?
Okay. 2 people.
Jack has everything, so I don't know. That doesn't-
I
And they
just
would-
assumed Jack has it.
And the Wiimotes I thought were great, But then, like on the Wii U, they tried to make more. It's like more detailed Wiimotes, like they could track more fine-grained movements, which was supposed to be a big upgrade. But then you just had a bunch of Wiimotes that you couldn't use with your new games, and you needed the new Wiimotes for the new games. And I was like, I just want to play bowling. Why are you trying to take me for a ride?
I just want to play bowling.
Here's a new $80 to $100 controller that you need one of for every member of your family. Go out and buy a whole set.
Yep. It was, but
Joy-Cons are stupid expensive.
Joy-Cons are ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
I hadn't had a Nintendo console since probably like Super Nintendo when I got the Switch, or an N64 maybe.
GoldenEye. Yeah.
I got the Switch and I was like, oh yeah, no, this is great. And then I realized, oh, Nintendo just never lowers their prices for any games, no matter how old they are. Mario Kart 8 is still $60. Like, that's like 10 years old now.
No, it's because in Japanese there is no word for sale.
Feels
a
like
lie,
you're gonna get
by
banned from Twitch for saying it.
That's not racist. It's just, it was a lie.
It's Japanesist.
Yeah.
It's like the whole like Eskimo, in Eskimo, you know, there's like 47 different words for snow or something like that.
Mm.
People make up crap on the internet, man. That's
You're
what we're here
really,
to do.
you're really
Like,
gonna get flagged after all these comments. You're gonna get
Mhm.
canceled pretty hard.
I'll say Inuit. Now we're good.
Oh, nailed it. All right. Whew. Thank heavens Barnabas is here.
Wait, were we playing tag?
Were we playing tag?
Yeah, Barnabas just said I was it.
You're always it. You're just you have it, which means you always are it.
Inuit, yeah.
Yeah.
Inuit. Inuit?
Inuit.
Or Inuit?
By the way, retroactively looking back, that Netsticks joke, I still think it's hilarious. And I don't care that you guys didn't laugh.
I appreciated it. All right, cool. We need to jump into this or my wife's going to leave me.
What?
It'd be the weirdest paperwork ever filed.
She wants to see who dies.
Is she chomping at the bit?
No. Anyway, so you are now in the throne room,
Uh-oh, Tailspire. Oh, that's a cool screenshot.
but it's not Tailspire. It's just a picture of Tailspire.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Thank you. You stand before the throne, still probably 60, 70 feet away. And you, Felix, obviously you can see the outline of Aethelwolf first. You know him best. You know what he looks like. And you can see he is sitting in the throne and his head is just hanging down, squarely like between his shoulders. It's hanging so low. And just in one hand, he's just absent-mindedly spinning Chaz's gun. You don't even say anything. He just hears the sounds of your footsteps coming. And he says, "The other night, I had a dream. I was in a cave with no entrance, no exit. Just me and a raging fire. Seeing no way out, I decided to sit and wait. I watched the flames dance for what seemed like an eternity, and you continue walking forward." He said, "I was fixated, and I began to see first an empty throne, then a broken stone tablet. The endless sky darkened. A wall made of body and mushroom. And in that wall," and his head lifts up just so he's basically staring at you through his bushy eyebrow, because he still has the patch on. It says, "In that wall, I saw your face. And he just stares at Felix. And I awoke, and I heard that you was on the run. And I know couldn't let you escape. Yet here you stand before me. Now we both know, and he leans back in his chair, that you have more brains than balls, Felix. So I must ask, what are you thinking? He just continues to twirl the gun.
Well, I could ask you the very same question.
He leans forward. Says, I'm thinking I've won. I know all the things I need to know. And I'm this close to getting what I want.
What is it you want out of all this? You've certainly expanded the Breakers' ambitions. Never thought you'd leave the mountains.
What I want most is to find Dalen and then surpass him. I know that our people were not meant to be placed under these chains of order. I know that we are the guardians of law, and we're to make our own. And he stands up. And you all seeing Aethelwolf for the first time, he's a broad-shouldered dwarf. You've seen Felix, you've seen the other dwarf. He's a burly dwarf. And he just continues to spin the gun, and he's walking down the stairs now. He says, do you know why it is that I lead the Breakers?
Why, 'cause of your incredibly good looks.
He chuckles. I wouldn't have expected a joke out of you, Felix.
Now they're the same from you. Chains? Have you walked by the city? If you thought they were in chains before, what have you done now?
What is necessary?
Out of your mind.
That's why I lead the Breakers.
Because you're insane?
Because I am out of my mind. And at that, he steps up and he gets right next to your face. He just stares at you. And he stops spinning the gun. He says, I know I'm not the smartest. I know I'm not the strongest. I know I'm not the most handsome. But I am the most ruthless. I am out of my mind. And he taps the side of his head on the side that's missing an eye.
Wasn't expecting to agree with you on so many things in this meeting. But tell me, how do you expect to surpass Dalen?
Well, he turns his back to you. He just kind of starts pacing, like absent-mindedly now, in front of the steps of the throne. Said, we had good fortune earlier today when the key to our salvation flew into my throne room. And he points past you back at Wander. And he says, I know what's beating in his chest. I know what makes him move. And I know a whole lot more than that. He just keeps pacing. Felix, I'm surprised to hear you say we don't agree on much. Because we agree on a lot more than you think. Your betrayal was a setback for certain. But it was not the end. As you see, and he kind of gestures around to the breakers that are on either side of you. He says, we get along just fine.
I'm not impressed.
Kind of chews on that a little bit. Well, that's all right, Felix. I'm not trying to impress you.
Felix, you've seen Dalen, haven't you?
Yeah?
And you've seen
was-
what happened to him.
Point, you see Aethelwolf's eyebrow cock up. He's listening.
And you also saw what happened to him
I know what happened to him.
in that metal cave. It seems you've already figured some things out. Council just kind of lets that hang for a bit.
Are you sure you know everything, Aethelwolf?
Technically, Council wasn't lying. We did see him in the vision, and we do know what happened to him.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, you can repeat your question.
Are you sure you know everything, Aethelwolf?
Oh, I know for a fact I don't know everything. That's why I'm so smart. You see, a smart man knows what he doesn't know. Thinking you know everything, thinking you are the end all be all. Now that's foolishness. He's pointing at you with the gun. Now, Felix, you have been a thorn in my side since your departure. And currently, you are just another road bump for me.
I've done nothing besides try to get out of the way and be on with my own plans.
Your plans are my plans, Felix. I can't have you out there with my plans. Do you know why kingdoms fall? Information loss. Loose lips, as the Humes say, sink ships. And he walks backwards now, and you see he's walking up to the Magister, which those of you who can see, you see the Magister, he's sitting there. He's currently on his knees. His hands are just kind of down, like in his lap. And you can see that he has a similar collar to what you had when you were in Orin. But this time it doesn't have red alchemite in it. It actually has a clear alchemite. He walks up to the Magister. And he turns around to all of you. He says, Felix, I know what you plan to do. I know you would never walk into this room without a plan. And I accept on one condition.
And what's that?
You get out of your suit.
Ooh.
He just stands next to the Magister and waits.
A duel.
Mano y mano. No tools, just our fists. And the brains between our ears.
This suit's the only Aetherwolf. This suit is part of me. I can't take it off. You gear up with whatever you need.
He cocks the gun and he puts it up to the Magister. He says, You sure about that?
If the Magister dies, he will never get under Orin.
Do you know Elm Man? Why you are able to say that within these hollowed halls?
Due to the grace of the leadership present.
Because you believe it to be true. You think that I would have my esteemed guest, is that the word you used? Here, and he gestures to the Magister. You don't think I would peel back his brain to reveal the secrets hidden inside? To learn all that you know? To learn all that you don't know? There are more ways to get beneath Orin.
Aetherwolf. I'm no fool. If I get out of this suit, what's stopping you from taking it?
He does a very, overacted, Boy Scout kind of salute thing and holds his arm up and says, On my honor. It's just you and I. No interference, No guards. No.
Do I?
And he points the gun kind of back at all of the other standing around and says, no friend.
Do I think he's telling the truth?
Make me an insight check.
Can I do the same?
Yeah.
19.
19.
10.
You know he can't lie in this room.
Oh, that's
I mean, I don't know that they didn't find a way to subvert that. Potentially.
That's true.
So that's what I'm trying to suss out. Like, do I think he's lying, or has the ability to bypass?
Far as you know, he is telling the truth.
Through brawn alone, I think we both know who would win there.
You can use your brain if you'd like.
My brain created these tools. If you don't have faith in your own, how are the breakers supposed to trust you?
Smiles. Says, Felix, this is never about trust. This is never about thinking that I'm the smartest, having faith in my abilities.
Felix glances to the breaker guards around the room, kind of gives a little towards them.
You, like, the ones that you can see immediately, like to your left and right, they're just kind of like nodding along with the conversation.
Wasn't your group, Felix, wasn't the Breakers founded on ingenuity, their ability to create, to advance technology rather than anything else before? And now you're being challenged with such a substantial step backwards. It's like asking a child to face a gorilla.
Now, that comparison's a little unfair.
You can see Aethelwolf actually smiles at that underneath his beard.
If you beat me in my suit, Aethelwolf, with whatever you can strap onto yourself, I'll give you the suit. I'll also tell you anything you want. And then you can kill me.
Felix, I don't want your suit. And I know everything that you know.
You believe that to be true. That's the only reason you can say that.
You can see Cox a little smile. You're a fast learner, boy. That's why I kept you around. Now I'm setting the rules here. And he again puts the gun back up to the Magister. It just stares at you. You don't have a leg to stand on, boy. You can take your chances of beating me on your own, or you can condemn your friends to death. You a gambling man, Felix?
If Felix looks over at Council at any point, Council's just gonna tap his journal and just nod at Felix.
Are you doing that like secretly?
Yeah, not entirely, but
Maybe
yeah.
a sleight of hand check.
Okay. Oh boy. It's the first time I've rolled below a 10, but it was a 9. 14.
Okay.
I'm reading real quick.
Yeah, I don't know if artificers can use any of their spells without this.
That's what I'm like. I'm gonna for sure die if I get out of my suit.
Well, I
I'm
don't
just
know.
making extra sure. What is my? I'm fairly positive it is my suit.
Are you casting focus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
All of your abilities come from your suit.
and you don't have your homunculus. We didn't do anything with the alchemite.
Mm-mm.
He just wants to fist fight you. I was gonna like give you my crossbow or something.
Get to reading, Council. Here we go.
I have returned my body as my own.
Now, anything you can muster up against me, you don't think you could defeat me in my suit?
It's not that I don't think I can't, Felix. It's that I don't want anything to be between you and I as I watch the life leave your eyes.
I can raise the visor.
Amazing.
He just starts
Ishmael,
counting.
Ishmael laughs.
10, 9, 8.
Wait, was he pointing at
He's
Magister?
pointing at the
Magister.
Magister. 4.
Do not shoot him.
Are you scared, Aetherwolf? Is that why?
Stops counting. What do I have to be scared of? Tell me truly. Tell me what you think.
I think I'm better than you.
Felix. Better is subjective. Could you make a suit better than I can? Absolutely. Could you mine as well as I can? I don't think so. Could you lead as well as I can? I also don't think so. Could you jump as high? I don't know. Better is a scale. Three.
Ishmael puts his hand on the hilt of his sword, very noticeably, not trying to hide it.
Okay.
Aetherwolf. How about an audience? We take this outside.
As soon as you're grabbing your sword, Ishmael, you can feel that there are breakers on either side of you. Aetherwolf stops. Why are you so concerned with what others think of what happens in this room? They don't care. They don't know anything beyond the noses on their faces, and you know it.
Are all your breakers certainly loyal? Why not make an example of the betrayer?
I imagine not.
This does seem to have the fate of the city at stake.
And I've seen some of those suits you've put together. I think you might fare pretty well.
Maybe a persuasion check.
Ooh! Can I like do a jig to give him advantage?
It's okay, I'm gonna use that point of inspiration.
Hey!
Yeah!
And you've got a flash of genius when you needed to.
Yes, I do.
Flash of genius.
Can I give him guidance quick?
No.
He's casting a spell. That's a bad idea.
Persuasion. So that's... I rolled a 1 and a 15, so it's a good thing I had that inspiration.
Holy crap.
Yep. So that's 23 with Flash of Genius.
It's huge.
Aethelwolf pulls the gun back from the Magister. He's itching his chin with it.
I can't squeeze trigger.
I could give you another one, too. He pulls out the gun. You've got just one hand empty without a gun.
He stares at you for a long time. You could just cut the tension in the room with a friggin' butter knife. And he says, nah. And he points the
When
gun
he
back
when
over
he
at the
points it,
Magister.
I'm going to Misty Step to right between them.
Okay. Go for
It's like basically as soon as the gun yeah. So I mean, there's no roll. I do it.
Constance is gonna raise his hand at Ishmael in the group, kind of just to like wait and see what happens.
Yeah. Ishmael's just tensing. His like an inch higher his sword comes. He just is like
He's kind of doing it like
and
this.
with-
Let's see what happens.
with the gun that Felix had pulled out to like show to him. He's now pointing it at his head.
At Aethelwolf's head?
Yep. No, at the Magister's head.
we can double kill him.
Felix is like, so help me. So help me.
I'll do it.
I'll take that satisfaction away from you.
Last chance to accept the duel. I won't count.
He spins the gun around. And while you have the gun to his head. And he puts it in the Magister's hand.
what?
And he...
Can I take it? Can I take it from his hand?
Can you take the gun from the Magister's hand?
Yep.
You can try.
I'm gonna.
He's still holding on to it. Aethelwolf is.
Or at least like, can I grab the Magister's hand?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So
a
you can't grab it.
contested strength check.
Why the Magister? I don't understand.
Some nonsense, that's why.
I'm at a loss for like the first time.
I got 14 for the strength.
He just you reach down and grab it and try to move it.
Actually,
And
19. I forgot to
Flash
Flash
of
of
genius.
Genius. Yep, we're using another one. These men.
Beats it, beats it.
No.
So you grab it, you try to move it away, and Aethelwolf's arm just tenses, and he holds it there. And he's just staring down your gun up against his head. And he just continues to move it up until the
I
gun
pull the
is-
trigger.
Ooh!
Go for it. Roll to attack, yeah.
If only coup de grace rules still existed.
Oh,
So just so I kept track, Felix Misty stepped over in between them. Aethelwolf gave the gun to the Magister.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to give it to the Magister,
Tried to give it to the Magister.
who has the funny collar on his neck.
yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, I really got to work on getting proficient in this thing.
Yeah.
But we got, what do I have? Is this Dex?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a ranged weapon.
That's a 19. Another 19.
19. In that split second that it takes you to pull the trigger, Aethelwolf moves his head out of the way,
No.
What?
and he reaches up and grabs your hand, and he's going to take the gun from you.
I
Give me a
draw my
contested
sword.
strength check. Go for it.
Maybe this is the duel? We just started?
It just organically happens.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so no, I'd have to keep track of.
If the guards look like they're gonna do something, he's gonna try the same gesture to them. He's just gonna hold out his hand and just see what happens. See if they go along and watch.
All
I
right,
don't know.
20,
Yeah.
23 for the strength.
You're Chris Pratting the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I'm kind of doing the
23. Okay.
Yep.
You are able to hold the gun in your hand. He's not able to pull it away. He just holds your gun in his hand. He's holding your hand away while he continues to guide the hand of the Magister. And he says, "Now, friend, if I die, pull the trigger." And then he's going to try and punch you right in the face. Right in your helmet. That's a natural 20.
Oh!
Oh my gosh.
That's how this is gonna start? Come on.
That is...
I think we can work with this. It's only if he dies, not if he's maimed within an inch of his life.
So that is 7 bludgeoning damage. As he just straight up cold cocks you right in the face. How do you respond?
You have a nuke?
Last chance before we get on with this, and I'm gonna punch him back. Just a plain old punch.
Okay, go for it. Roll for attack.
What do I add for a plain old punch? That's also Dex. Okay. Do you add your proficiency, or do you have to be proficient in unarmed?
You have to be
Unarmed
proficient in
combat is
unarmed
195.
attacks.
Yeah, so you don't
Okay.
get a proficiency bonus. It's just
That's
your strength.
Still a 19 though.
19 misses. You
Cool.
swing.
Oh,
he
no.
just moves his head back, and in that time, he brings his head forward and headbutts you right in the faceplate.
What? Is he superhuman?
Got
That's
something
a
going on.
23 to hit.
He's a faction
hits.
leader.
23 to hit. Okay, hits.
Oh, man, if Wander could transform right now, he would try and get Wander to turn into something small to like go and get the gun from the Magister. But...
That's 8 more bludgeoning damage. And then he's going to follow it up with a knee, and he's going to try and knee you just like right in the groin.
Come on, Felix. Go Iron Man on him.
That's an 18 to hit. So I imagine that the knee bounces off your metallic codpiece.
Yep. Extra armor there.
No, he just
All right.
fleexes.
+2.
So Felix is gonna do.
Hey, wait.
He's gonna cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Just a second. Just a second. Sorry, he gets one more attack before the end of his turn.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
So
legendary
hitting,
actions?
hitting his knee off of your cod piece. He's just going to bring his left elbow around to try and smack you again right upside the head. And that's a 19 to hit.
Beats it.
Oh, sick. All right. Dang it. That is 6 points of bludgeoning damage. As he brings his elbow across your visor, you hear the first little like kind of crack or creak in your armor.
Believe.
Okay, so I'm gonna use Hunter's Mark, targeting him. It's my bonus action.
Wing.
Yep, your little high-pitched whine.
A laser beam follows him around.
Then I'm gonna Booming Blade, punch him in the face.
Go for it.
He's doing a bunch of crunch.
So that is... Wait, oh yeah. 20 to hit.
20 hits.
Yeah!
You hit him!
Nice.
Man, I was about to suggest plugging the controller into port 2 to beat him.
I get that reference.
Yeah, thank you. Nobody else does, I don't think.
Psycho Mantis.
Oh, yeah, Jack does. All right.
Yeah, I know.
I just got these blank looks from everyone, like, you're not gamers.
I smiled.
Also, this track is awesome. What is this?
Mm-hmm. This is good.
This is Darth Revan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, sweet. That's Captain Revan's namesake. From
So...
Darth Revan is awesome.
I can share it afterwards.
Pretty sure this spell changed at level 11. Yeah.
It does 8d20 now, right? Instead of...
Yeah.
D20.
It's a one-hit kill, actually.
One hit kill. Organic
Yes.
units. Is
So, and I have to roll an extra d6. Alright, so that is 16 thunder damage.
16 thunder damage.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm wondering if I can cheat.
Okay.
I have a Battle Master ability that lets me make an ally do an extra attack. But I have to attack in order to do that. I punch the air and then make Felix attack.
After that booming blade, would we realize that he just like cast a spell when he did that?
Mm-hmm.
Barquan's looking around to see, all right, is anyone about to interject? He just did magic.
Make me a perception check.
Can I also make a perception check upon seeing that?
Sure,
I'm standing there with my sword, ready to...
Yeah, sure. Council's just making sure that no one's intervening.
18.
Oh my
Oh, not
gosh!
20!
10.
So 20.
Yeah.
Council. So you notice now that the breakers that were on the far side of the room, so the ones that were at the back, they now just collapse in, so the circle is closed.
Okay.
But they're not making any move to. Nobody's making move to attack. They're just making sure that these guys have a nice ring to fight in.
Council's just gonna keep watching then.
What's the dimensions of the circle?
It's not an actual circle. It's like a half moon.
Okay.
You guys are inside of it, so it's
Sure.
Hold on, let me tell you.
You said half moon, and for a split second, I thought you said like an F. And I was like, they're in an F formation? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like,
Would you see the fail move?
So it's probably like 60 feet radius.
So, the entire circle is
Fireball.
60 feet?
No, 60 feet is half of the circle. So if they're the
Okay.
middle of the circle, it's 60 feet back to where like the furthest breakers are.
So fireball.
No, not fireball. But maybe something else.
I mean, you guys are in the middle of it, so
That's fine.
Well, we're just watching for now.
yeah.
We'll see. I believe Felix. I believe in our companion in his battle suit.
Okay. Was that it, Felix? Sorry.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So you kind of wind up and like give him the Pacific Rim, like boom with the booming blade, and it definitely knocks him back. You can see like he takes it right in the diaphragm. He knocks him back, and he just kind of like squares up his jaw, and he's gonna charge right back in, and he's gonna try and hit. So first one is just a big haymaker coming in from the right. That's a 27 to hit.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, is he a monk? Jeez.
Felix would have been super dead if he got out of his suit.
Yeah, no kidding.
That is 7 bludgeoning damage. After that first solid contact, the next one is a 19 to hit.
Beats it.
Beats it.
Jeez.
He brings back the left for another 7 bludgeoning damage.
Dude.
Woof.
And the next one's a nat 20.
Oh my god.
Dude, come on!
So he comes in and just bat, bat. And then he's just going to do like good old like Van Damme like roundhouse kick across the face for the nat 20. And that's going to be a 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Good gracious.
And he's going to square up. Just not backing down. And it's okay because Felix is taking half damage from all
Yeah,
of
he's,
Yeah, but still, death by 1,000 bludgeoning.
Nat 20s.
yep.
so far. Jeez.
So Felix is gonna kind of like stomp the ground and put up his barrier.
Okay. So that like little like, sheen comes up in between him and Aetherwolf.
And I'm just making sure I don't. Is Hunter's Mark concentrate? Yeah, so I'm gonna make
It
sure
might
that
be, yeah.
it is. So I'm just
Oh,
making
yeah.
sure that that stays up. We're good there.
You rolled concentration, cool.
Yep, all 3 times.
Okay.
Yep, I did that for my bonus action. I'm gonna Booming Blade again. That's 24 to hit.
24 hits.
That's 19 thunder damage.
18 thunder damage. Dang. Okay. Yeah, you give another just solid Pacific Rim blow right to his abdomen. You knock him back, and this time he actually coughs a couple times.
Yeah.
Felix, you've been tuning up. He's just gonna march back in. Dirty 20.
Yep.
For 9 bludgeoning damage. That is a 24 to hit.
Yep.
For another 9 bludgeoning damage. That's only a 16. So again, he basically tries to do the same thing, like same combo. First, the big right haymaker hits you solid. Left haymaker hits you solid. Then he goes for the spin around kick, and then this one you caught onto the pattern, so you're able to move out of the way. And then he goes in for a grapple as a bonus action. So give me a athletics or acrobatics check, whichever one you want.
Acrobatics it is. Oof. That's 11.
Oh, jeez.
You get out of the way, and when you come back up, he is just on top of you, and he just grabs onto you and like swivels himself around behind you, and you're grappled.
Here comes the chair.
From the top rope.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
One second. Can I attack while I'm grappled, or am I like restrained?
You can. You're not restrained.
Okay.
Your speed becomes 0, and you can't benefit from any bonus to your speed.
All right. I punch him. Booming blade.
Boom, boom,
Okay.
boom.
That's 14. Not gonna hit.
14 doesn't hit.
No.
While he's like swiveling around behind him, you frantically are now trying to like throw elbows back at him, and he's able to duck out of the way of it. While he's got you grappled, he's going to be making some more attacks.
Yep.
Round and pound.
Oof. All right, that's only an 11 to hit with the first one. So now that he's hitting the back of you, he doesn't have that like nice kind of glass plate to aim at. He's kind of just tinging off of the back of you. So the first one's an 11. Oh man. Second one's a 15. And then with his last attack, he's going to try, and he's trying to like rip your helmet off. And that he got a 27.
Oh my goodness.
He can't take
So-
my armor off, though.
That's okay. He's do you have something special about that, or
Armors. No one can willingly remove the armor. Or, like, no one can remove the armor unless I let it happen, basically.
okay, cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he is just you can feel his fingers are like getting underneath your visor, and he's just wrenching on it, trying to pull it off of you as hard as he can.
Yeah, it says the armor attaches to you and can't be removed against your will. It also expands to cover your entire body. So you can retract or deploy the helmet as a bonus action. Blah, blah, blah. Yep.
Crazy.
The rest of you are just watching Aethelwolf just kind of like friggin' like a gorilla facing a kindergartner. He's just like all
This
over.
is like an orangutan, man.
If he's holding the helmet, if you retract it, will that shear his hand off?
Yeah, open it and close it multiple times. Nom, nom, nom,
I'm
nom,
not taking that risk.
nom. Eat his fingers.
Eat his chicken fingies.
Alright, is that his turn?
Yep.
Another booming blade. Wait, did I take any damage?
No.
Okay, good. Alright, 24.
24 hits.
Ooh, 26.
26 thunder
Yep.
damage.
Thunder damage.
Holy crap!
It's a
That
big,
is so
big
much.
punch.
You get one solid elbow back, and it makes a collision with the side of his jaw. And the rest of you watch as one of these like silver teeth gets knocked out and like goes ding 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 across this like kind of tile floor in
Okay.
this room. But
Does
he's
any-
still holding on.
Does anyone move?
No one moves.
Okay. If
Nope.
those guards move,
Starts
I'm doing
taking
something.
bets.
I just want to make that
He's
clear.
Anyone?
No, guards are still just.
I got 2-to-1 odds on the Dwarn.
That's unfair. Yeah, they just keep going.
Am I at an angle? Consul's been trying to. He has faith in Felix, but the angle, the Magister's holding the gun against his head like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's about 60 feet away, next to the throne. Or 30
So the
feet.
Magister's on the other side of them, so he's probably closer to 80 feet away from you.
Oh. Okay. Well, what's my range? My range is 120. Okay, cool. If it looks bad, Council may try and shoot the pistol out of the Magister's hand. But for
Okay.
now, he's just watching. Just want to give you a heads up.
Okay.
Any sign of movement from the Magister looking like he's going to do something, Council's like, quick draw.
Okay. Cool. Aethelwolf is gonna gear up for 3 more punches. First one's a 23 to hit. And that is 6 bludgeoning damage.
So immediately after that, after taking that 6, I'm going to use my Radiant Weapon as a reaction immediately after being hit by an attack. I expend one of its 4 charges to cause the attacker to be blinded until the end of the attacker's next turn, unless the attacker succeeds a Constitution saving throw against my self-save DC.
What's a Constitution? Or what's your saving throw?
17.
Cocked. Constitution saving throw?
Yep.
Dirty 20.
Ugh.
He's
Yeah,
now
he-
blinded, sorry.
Basically like a big flash of light comes from his palm.
Nice. He, you see him wince back just from the brightness of it, and then holding on to you, basically like a horse collar, and he's just gonna come back in and go for more.
I'm picturing some deranged NFL fan just like breaking onto the field and just trying to punish a linebacker, just like headbutting the helmet, punching the shoulder pad.
Exactly. That's a 24 to hit. So that is another 9 points of bludgeoning damage. And then that's only a 16 to hit. So he just pop right in the back of your helmet. And then the last one, he's a little bit lower and almost like hits in the shoulder pad of your suit. So he's not able to do that. No damage.
All right, and for mine, booming blade again. This is gonna be a thrilling combat. 18.
Rock'em sock'em robots.
Yeah, it is. 18, or no, not 18. Yes, 18.
18 misses.
Yeah. So in my bonus action, I'm gonna put up my shield again because it went down.
If Felix gets defeated, does his helmet pop off? Like a rock'em sock'em?
You know what? It does.
Yeah, one of the robots is made out of metal, and the other one's got a 9-volt battery attached to it. Whenever it punches, just
It's gonna go for more.
who knew?
First attack is a 13. So at this point, he actually grappling onto you. He spins you around, and he just grabs you by like the back of your shoulder pad, and he tries to bring you down to like knee you in the chest. And it's just not as effective as he thought it was going to be. And so he does it again. And this time it's a 26. and that is for 9 points of bludgeoning damage. So you could feel just solid contact that time, as it's like almost it's threatening to like he's trying to cave in your chest cavity.
Oh, jeez. Council is somewhat impressed by the fighting ability.
The next one is an 18, so nothing. So he does it a third time, but you're able to like brace enough and like bring your arms up to stop the blow. And then you can say goodnight to your child before you get bludgeoned to death.
Nice job playing Smash Bros.
Look at
I
those
love
little
the
glasses. They're so cute.
Those are amazing.
Glasses on kids are adorable.
Hi, Brittany.
I also love the instinctive shirt lift that he did when he first came in, just kind of absentmindedly. Oh, maybe not.
You guys want to see my belly button?
I'll work out.
It's such a kid move. Like, I don't know what to
Mhm.
do. Should I take my No, I'll leave my shirt. No, should I? No, I don't know.
I've worn clothes for 2 hours. This sucks.
I'm done with this.
All right, we're good.
All right. It is your turn.
Okay.
He's got you now by the front.
All right, we got a 19 to hit.
19 misses. So
Okay.
you
Yep, that's it.
get the booming blade ready. Just kind of bounces off of him. He's ready for it this time. He tenses up and just absorbs it. He's gonna go for a couple more. That's a 23 to hit. So that is another 7 points of bludgeoning damage. That is a 17 to hit, so that doesn't hit. And that is a 26 to hit for 7 more bludgeoning damage. As now that he's got you like by the back of the shoulders, he just keeps driving his knee up into your chest. He's trying to break something. Some of the times it hurts, some of the times it doesn't.
I will booming blade again.
Is that a
There
cantrip?
we go. Sure is. It's
Oh,
like, it's my attack basically. I do it every
Yeah.
single time I attack.
Wow.
Ooh. That's 25 to hit. Finally
That
rolled
hits.
above a 10.
Yeah. What happens if you misty step with someone grappled to you? I think
Assuming you just get out. I don't need to though.
I was thinking of teleporting upwards and then like landing on him.
Bring in the elbow.
The people.
That's another 26.
That's so much damage.
It's 3d8 plus 1d6
Gosh.
plus int.
Okay.
Council has 125 life. 5 of those and he's dead.
You make solid contact again, and he voluntarily lets go and kind of stumbles back, and he grabs his abdomen, and you see he spits a little blood on the ground, and then he comes back in leading with a boot.
How's he looking, Aetherwolf?
Hard to tell.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
he doesn't look too hurt.
Okay.
He looks okay. But you've seen him take a couple of these big hits from Felix, so you're like, hey,
Yeah.
you can't be doing that well, right? That's a 26.
Oh, I forgot to up my shield. So I'll do that.
And that is for 8 points of bludgeoning damage. And that's for a 27. And that's another 9 points of bludgeoning damage. Oh, and that's for an 18. So he leads in with a boot, makes solid contact, and he just kicks again and makes solid contact. And then he kicks again. And by that time, you catch on and you move out of the way. So he ends up whiffing past you. And now you're kind of standing like at a T intersection with him. You're facing off against his right shoulder.
Okay, I will booming blade again. That's 28 to hit.
28 hits.
Backslash.
Backslash.
Like watching two Shulks face off.
It's Rhine time.
So that's 18 thunder damage.
Okay. So you end up just punching him essentially in like the back, like right behind his ear, in that like sensitive part of your skull. And you see him kind of take a step forward and shakes his head a little bit, squares off back against you. Dirty 20
Hits.
for 6 bludgeoning damage. Now that he's squared off back against you, he's going back to the straight punches to your visor. The next one was only a 14 to hit. And that's a 27 to hit for another 8 points of bludgeoning damage. So first one hits, makes solid contact. Second one, kind of a glancing blow off of the side of your helmet as you're moving out of the way. He anticipates that movement, just comes back around with kind of an uppercut. Makes solid contact again.
And after that attack, I'm going to do the radiant weapon blind again.
Okay.
It's Constitution save to beat 17.
Okay. Ooh, that is only a 12.
Okay, so he is blinded until the attacker's next turn. The end of the attacker's next turn.
Okay. Let me look up what blinded does.
Blind creature can't see and automatically fails any ability checks that require sight. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage.
Ooh.
And the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage.
Oh, that's huge.
Okay. Yeah. So you blind him with that bright burst of light, and immediately you can see he's just kind of blinking that one good eye. He can't see
You should have disadvantage against this.
because you got half the vision,
All right.
half the eyes to be blinded. So actually, he has.
Oh, it's true. He's
advantage.
got resistance to it. He flips the eye patch up. It's really been a good eye this whole time.
He's just a pirate.
That'd be a clutch move.
Switch his eyes.
So for my turn, I'm going to Misty Step to next to the Magister
Okay.
and try to wrestle the gun out of his hands.
Okay.
He only had instructions to pull the trigger when Aethelwolf died.
True.
And that's strength, right?
Yep.
I got 23. With I used Flash of Genius to get that, but still. Beat that, Magister.
That's 24.
What? What?
Oh my gosh.
You go to pull his arm away, and this is strength like the Magister doesn't have. There is something really fishy about that. About the fact that he is able to keep it there, against you actively wrenching on it.
It's gotta be that collar.
Anything else?
That was bonus action and action, so
Do you have
I roll with disadvantage. That's right.
do you have invert dwarven prepared? The one that turns them inside out?
At hearing the sounds of you struggling with the Magister for the gun, he whips around. Aethelwolf whips around, and he charges at the sound, and he throws just a wide punch, just no accuracy to it whatsoever.
Decapitates the Magister.
That's right. No, after the next one, he brings it. He like basically swings, misses entirely, and he just kind of does like a backhanded, like hoping to hit something. You see, he actually like nicks the wall a little bit that you guys are next to, like bruises up his knuckles.
Man, his channeling is in orangutan. Damn.
And yeah, he just takes one last wild swing and misses. And after that third miss, you see him, he's blinking, and you can see he gets his vision back, but he like rubs his eye and just kind of like make sure that he's back and focused.
okay. So I made this gun.
Mm-hmm.
It's my design.
Yes.
Is there? I want to try to like basically, like pull something out of it that will disable it.
Okay.
Like quick, just like like all right, the hammer. Let's just yank that off, or like the.
Sure, I'd allow that. Make me. I don't even know what to make me. Make me a sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Boom.
While you've got the gun in one hand with the Magister, you reach your other hand up and you essentially just like it's like a break action, and you just pop it. So now the back is open; it can't be fired.
Dang.
Music just ended so abruptly.
It really did. I thought you stopped it or a commercial was going to come on.
No, I'm playing from Spotify. Come on.
And then I will, as my bonus action, I will put up my shield for the last time.
Oh.
Okay.
Out of uses after this.
At which point, Aethelwolf, seeing what you just did, he's going to use his action, snap back the gun into place. So he just closes the hammer back in place. And he's going to stare at the Magister long and hard, as long as he can in 6 seconds. And he's going to just take one kind of wild swing at you. With a 26.
It was a good plan.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if you hadn't noticed.
What's the name of the situation in
7
chess where if you repeat the same position multiple times, it automatically ends in a stalemate?
Just keep breaking it open, closing it, breaking it open, closing it, breaking it open, closing it. So that's for 7 bludgeoning damage.
If we castle with Felix, does that mean we trade places and like halfway down the middle and we can...
I think so.
Yeah.
So one of the fighter maneuvers basically is that as a battle master, you swap places with the person and they get extra AC.
I didn't take it because it requires a melee attack.
That's fair.
Gross.
Gross. Who goes into melee?
Threefold repetition. That is not what I was expecting the name of that chess thing to be called, but
It's a maneuver.
here.
So I'm-
Still,
Stares at the Magister and then just goes for like a wide haymaker and manages to land
Yep.
a hit.
And then I'm gonna punch him back, I guess.
Okay. Boom and blade.
Yep, 24 to hit. Alright, I do pass the concentration. Oh no, I didn't take damage because of my shield.
Does the shield take all of the damage?
It's 10 hit points, temporary hit points.
Yeah, that's good. That's
It's
real
it's
good again.
incredibly good. It's one hit point per level in the class. So
Should be 11 then. Oh wait, no.
In the class.
it sure should be. So that is. Oh, I need to roll another one. 13, 15, 17, 22. Thunder.
Ooh.
22 thunder. All right. Okay. Yeah, that you knock Aethelwolf back, and you see him. He stumbles down the stairs a little bit, because you kind of have him like on his back foot, and when he hits that bottom floor, he just looks down at the tile and then comes back at you. First one's at 24 to hit.
Yep.
That is 6 bludgeoning damage.
Man, so much writing on this fight.
Next one's a 15. Miss. Dang it. Wrong thing. And the next one's natural 19. So he hits. For another 7 bludgeoning damage. So as he comes up, that first hit, he makes solid contact, swings wide with the right, you back out, and he just lunges forward with the top of his head into your sternum for that final hit, hoping to like knock the breath out of you, something.
I keep forgetting to interrupt you after the first attack, but after the third attack, I do my radiant weapon blind again.
Okay.
So Constitution save to beat
So
17.
17.
Roll low.
No, 14.
Yeah.
Alright, blinded again.
Blinded again. You see, he headbutts you, raises his head up, and then just that flash right in his face. Immediately, he's seeing stars again.
He's so annoying. Damn it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
throwing sand in his face.
Pocket sand.
For my turn, I mean, yeah, let's go. I'm gonna try to like actually break the gun now.
Break the gun in the Magister's hand.
Yeah, like I want to like pull something out that would make it cease to function.
Okay.
Cut his hand off.
I mean, I would say probably make a sleight of hand with disadvantage, or, well, I'm thinking of how you could do that without it being a strength. Like, short of like trying to like break the gun in half. I
mean, you're right. I did make it, or I did design it, so it's pretty unbreakable.
You can certainly try. Yeah, I'd say make me a strength check.
Bend the hammer?
Oh my gosh, I rolled a 2, so
Oh no.
Not happening.
I'm not gonna do the math there.
You reach over with your right hand again, grab the gun. You're kind of wrestling with it. He's gonna take some swings while your back is turned. But he's blinded. First one is a 23. For 6 bludgeoning damage. Next one, another 24. For 8 bludgeoning damage. And a 19
That hits.
for 6 bludgeoning damage. As he makes that first contact, even though he's blinded, he knows where you are, so he just keeps pounding away on your back.
This really is death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yep. I'm gonna punch
Really
back.
bad. You got to keep your suit.
Yeah, I would be super dead.
Oh yeah, I was thinking for a moment, like at the beginning, like just do it. Like we'll see what happens. It wouldn't be that out of two.
gosh.
Oh no, this would have
Felix would be dead.
Slaughter, like just bully beating up the nerd at the playground. 25 to hit.
25 hits.
Felix and Goliath.
He's just wailing on your back, blinded. He takes a step back just to rub out his eye, and in that moment where he's standing still, you swing around that fist for a
16 thunder damage.
Ooh.
Yeah, and just straight up right across his face with the booming blade. And this time it doesn't just like knock him a little bit. It hits him and he like bounces off the wall and has to stumble a little bit. This is the first time you've seen him like shaken during this fight.
Mm.
Good.
He comes back with a 17, misses. And a 19 hits for 6 bludgeoning damage.
And I'll do the radiant weapon.
He misses with the right haymaker, comes in with the left, makes solid contact, and immediately just flashes up in his face.
It's Carmel Johnson in the side of the throne room.
Is that a cantrip also?
That's a
No, I
natural
have
18.
that's the last. Yeah, so he beats it. That's the last charge on it. So
Oh, okay.
Comes
That's a
back in.
really effective move. Dang.
Ah,
I mean, it is a Constitution save, which most things have a good Constitution
Yeah.
saving throw, but still, blinded is pretty effective.
that's really
Heck
good.
yeah.
Last one's only an 18 to hit. So even though he's not stunned by it, comes back in with one more right, and you're again just kind of ducking and backing out of the way of it. So he ends up swinging wide.
Okay, so I'm going to Booming Blade. Oh, it's a 19, so that doesn't hit, right?
It does not hit.
And then Felix is gonna pull out with his other hand the clear piece of alchemite he has from the walkie-talkie thing. He's just gonna pull it out and have it in his hand. And he's noodling. He's thinking about how he can use this to maybe deactivate the collar. But he's not gonna
Okay.
try this turn.
Okay. That is an 18, so that misses. That is a 21, so that hits for 7 more bludgeoning damage. And then that is a 23 for 9 more bludgeoning damage. He takes 2 solid more hits into you.
So this turn do I think I can, like, the same way I deactivated the bomb, could I try to, like, deactivate the collar using this other piece of clear alchemite?
What the piece of clear alchemite that you have, did it have something already? Like because you said it came from the bomb, right? Or you
This is the one that I don't know if I kept the one from the bomb. But I do have the one we used as, like, the walkie-talkie.
Sure. So that one already has some force applied to it, so you wouldn't be able to use that one.
And yeah, I don't know what happened to the clear alchemite from the bomb.
Didn't we mine like 30 pounds of it or something?
Raw alchemite.
Mhm.
Raw alchemite. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna punch him again.
Okay. If all else
That's
fails, punch
all
him again.
these 19s, man.
19. So
Yep.
you, with the piece of alchemite in your hand, you basically just like try to like club him upside the head. He sees it from a mile away and takes a step back. Comes back in. That is 27 to hit for 5 more bludgeoning, or sorry, 6 more bludgeoning. That is a 25 to hit. For 9 more bludgeoning. And a 23 to hit. For 8 more bludgeoning. As he lands just 3 solid blows into you. Just body blows.
And I'm gonna booming blade him. 27.
27 hits.
No, 22 thunder damage.
22, okay.
So good.
Yeah, just solid hit. You hit him like right in his left obliques. You're pretty sure that he's going to be peeing blood for a little bit from that hit, if he survives this. Otherwise, he's not going to be peeing anything. You just make a solid hit. And again, he kind of stumbles back, pushes himself off the wall, comes back in for more hits.
Woo! Council's gonna like glance at the breakers just to kind of see what the mood is of this
That's
brutal
23.
slugfest.
For 6 bludgeoning damage. We'll get to that in just a second.
Doors.
That's a natural 20.
Another one.
Okay. Crystal's here to confirm. So that is 9 bludgeoning damage. Not great.
You guys could be double cheating.
That's true. We could be colluding.
Crystal's just there with a bucket of dice.
Really
That's
is.
another natural 20.
It really
Holy
is.
crap!
Now I'm double cheating.
Would
Wow.
you really want to kill a player tonight? Don't or a character tonight, not a
If
player.
Felix goes down, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Also, again, that's only 9 points of bludgeoning damage. As he pushes himself off the wall, just getting more determined with every hit. First a backhand with the left, then a right hand. And he's coming back with the left to make solid again. Council, you're looking around at all the breakers in the
Yeah,
room.
just kind of get a read on the mood.
Mood is everyone is watching.
Okay.
Just they're watching, they're tensed, they're ready for whatever happens, but they're
Mhm.
just watching.
How's Felix look?
You can't tell, he's inside a suit.
Yeah.
Unless his suit is showing signs of wear and tear.
Doesn't he have a health bar on his
Is
chest?
there a battery meter?
It's like the Dead Space armor suit.
Yeah, a little life meter thing.
Flashing.
It's beat up, but it's not too bad.
Council's just keeping his hand ready for that quick draw if he needs.
Another 27.
27 hits.
$18 thunder damage.
Jeez.
Perfect. Coming in for 3 more hits. That is a 23 to hit. That's 6 more bludgeoning damage. That's a dirty 20 for 6 bludgeoning damage. Oh, that was almost a natural 20. 28 to hit. For 9 more bludgeoning damage.
He's got homing fists. He's just like, pew.
Anyone who's watching this, he was accurate enough before, but as he's getting more beat up, you can see that the accuracy is going, but the ferocity of how he's attacking is going up. He's hitting that point where he's just like, I gotta freaking knock this guy out. I gotta take him down. He's swinging Mike Tyson.
Little desperation, maybe.
Felix is glad he didn't put on a suit. That's 20 to hit. Booming blade.
20 hits.
Oh, these. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
19 thunder damage.
Okay. Another solid hit. This time you clock him upside the head and he kind of bounces back again off of that wall. This time you can see he's a little shaken up, but he's coming back in for it. Uh, 23 to hit for 7 more bludgeoning damage. Ugh. 13 to hit. So he misses with the second. That is a 27 to hit for 8 more bludgeoning damage. And you can see now he's doing the almost like wild punching where he's every punch that he throws, he's stepping forward with it, and he's like trying to back you into the corner.
Oh, it's in that one.
Oh, no.
That hits. He has a reverse thing where
Golf rule.
Bad is good.
yeah. That's why the breakers are good.
Because good is dumb.
No reactions from anybody. Neat. Thanks, Crystal. Nat 20.
Oh my god.
For
I'm glad
11
you-
points of bludgeoning
I
damage.
was gonna say, I'm glad your crit damage is like 10.
Right? Oh my gosh.
The monk critting.
Yeah. Because if Ishmael crits, then the person explodes. But if a monk crits, it just hurts a bit more.
That's 27 to hit for another 7 bludgeoning damage. And another 27 to hit for 8 points of bludgeoning damage. As he just continues. After your nat 1, he sees that you make that wide swing at him, and he sees his opportunity. He comes in first with the uppercut, catches you right underneath like the bottom of your faceplate, obviously not hitting your chin, but like hitting you, catching you out of guard there, and then he just comes in with 2 quick lefts right upside the head.
Felix winds up for another booming blade. 27.
27 hits.
$29 thunder damage.
Holy crap!
Almost max damage roll.
There we go.
See, Aethelwolf crits 3 times for 10. Felix is like, badoosh!
Boom.
I get around that
Whoa.
pesky Dwarn resistance too.
Yeah, as he is hitting you left, you just like Rock'em Sock'em Robot, just straight to the face. Almost like Ip Man style. Pow. And he again has to take a couple steps back before he charges back in. That's a 17 to hit. So comes in with the boot, misses.
No matter who wins, you guys are beasts. So,
18. That's also a miss. Comes back with the backhand of his right, misses. Follows up with the left. That's going to be a dirty 20 for 6 bludgeoning damage. As he catches Felix up against the side of his helmet.
Booming blade again. 29.
That hits. Definitely hits.
$21 thunder damage.
Wow.
Jeez, dude. You catch him and he stumbles a bit. Comes back swinging.
Man.
Possibly
Holy
for the last
cow.
time. We'll see.
Does anyone keep track of how much damage has been dealt this fight?
No.
I have.
Yeah.
Gosh.
At least to me. I don't know about
I'm thankful I took the toughness feat. That's
At
for
least
sure.
110. From what I can
so
remember.
that's a 21 to hit, which hits.
Is Ethan Wolf bleeding from his ears by chance?
That's 7 bludgeoning damage.
Are you pre-having this damage, or is that how much damage she's doing?
I'm assuming it's how much damage he's doing, and I'm having.
Yeah, he's having.
Okay, I'd be
okay.
dead a long time ago
Okay.
if that were the case.
That's another natural 20, by the way.
Okay.
For 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Man.
And a 22
And
for... Oh, that's cocked. Come on.
any sparks coming from Felix's armor?
For
There's
8
some
points
sparks.
of bludgeoning damage.
All right. Another
How much
booming
bludgeoning?
blade.
Another moving blade. Come on.
I think you said 8.
8.
And thank goodness I basically need to roll a 1 to fail my concentration checks. So that's 25 to hit.
Concentrating on?
Hunter's Mark.
Oh, that's right.
It's giving him the D6. That's
Yep,
huge.
Yeah,
extra
that's
D6.
right.
It's fun
That's how
work
you
this
do it.
fight.
Yeah.
That's right. So, yeah, your next booming blade, I assume?
18 thunder damage.
He is looking crazy-eyed at this point.
Oh no.
How?
What was the status of the gun? Did you disarm it or disable it again? I can't remember.
It's still in his hand and still working.
Still in his hand.
I did what I could.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 25 for 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Can I say something during this?
28. Sure.
Just looking to the rest of the group, Ishmael says, "The Magister, he'll die."
Next one was a 27 for 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Wander nods.
If we move, he dies.
And that is a 27 for 6 points of bludgeoning damage. Felix still standing?
Barely.
Oh no.
So, okay, so we're going to Booming Blade again. Wind up 20.
It hits.
He's gonna very carefully rest his hand on his crossbow.
13. So that's 19 thunder damage.
15 thunder damage.
And then I'm going to Misty Step just to the other side of the ring.
Okay. You punch Aethelwolf, and you just make solid contact with his face. And you see his one good eye roll back. And he starts to fall backwards. And he hits the pavement, or hits the pavers underneath him.
As soon as his eye rolls back, I yell, he's still alive. And then I grab the gun.
You said you Misty Step.
Yeah, you missed his step.
Oh, right, yeah, yep. I can't do it. But I do yell, he's still alive.
At which point, Aethelwolf, correct, you see his hand come up off the ground. He smashes the place where his bad eye should be, and you just hear a crunch and a flash of green.
Green alchemite.
And he stands back up. And he says, "Get 'em, boys." And I think that's where we'll pick up next time.
What?
What?
Oh my gosh.
So
After all that, I knew he was gonna be a douchebag.
I don't know if it is matters or whatnot, but I really wanted to interject at the end there before you said like everybody reacts, and I wanted Ishmael to start raging after it's like the second he saw Aetherwolf falling back.
And
Is that right? Okay.
I did call out previously, if the guards turn hostile, I had something I was going to do. I said it a while ago.
Oh, okay. What were you gonna do?
Cast a spell.
Oh, what were you gonna cast?
Fireball.
Wait till next week.
It's probably chain lightning.
We can't play next week. Adam's gonna be at the theater.
Meteor storm.
Beetlejuice.
We'll play without him.
No! Of
I'm
all
sure-
weeks, not next week.
I'm
Ishmael
sure
starts to
we're gonna
rage,
be
pops a
barbarian.
blood vessel, and just collapses.
Did you hear
Oh
about
my-
Beetlejuice in the news this week?
Yes, I read about it this
fantastic.
morning. That was last night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that is very strange.
It's just
For those that don't know,
bizarre.
Lauren Boebert went to see Beetlejuice. Her and her family started singing along with the cast and were vaping in the middle of the theater. It got like escorted out, and she kept screaming, "Do you know who I am?"
Yeah.
I honestly don't know who that is.
She's
It's
a
for the best.
congresswoman in Colorado, I think. So it was in Denver where they were.
She
Yeah,
doesn't care.
yeah.
She was screaming obscenities apparently the whole way out as they're trying to, it's a traveling Broadway show.
Very classy.
Yeah.
You could just sing along to those, right? That's
Yeah.
they're cool with that.
Normal stuff.
Man, what a fight.
Oh boy.
That was
was
amazing.
Well put together, Spencer. The whole lead up to it and the fight.
Yeah.
the really good
That's very
sessions.
I really love the part where you cheated with all those 20s.
I know, and I can't believe you got your wife to go along with it. That's just crazy.
All my 20s were there was the one clutch one that was immediately undone, but